be very
Oh.
vague and say that it's going to be a big day for the game. So maybe stores will start to carry it again. We're clapping. We're clapping.
We're clapping. I'm excited to see. Okay. Look at this. This is round 1 in the 5K, and look at what we've got.
Ooh.
We have the winner from yesterday's event.
Yeah,
Jakxshadows, as those of you may know him better, the man who, alongside Harlan Sweet, popularized, tested,
and created
Kiwi. Created Kiwi.
Yeah, Harlan actually tweeted out like Justin is the creator. Like he gave him full credit. Obviously, they worked in the deck together, but both players willing to admit that they both had a big part in it. And really cool to see the creator of the deck not only win the tournament yesterday, but coming back to run it back. What's so funny, dude? You got jokes?
Look at Hector's sleeves.
Oh yeah. So,
God.
Yeah. So Hector, there's a little bit of a meme for those of you who don't know. So Hector is notorious. When I first met Hector, for asking how many cards are in hand, and like he asks all the time, like every turn, multiple times per turn. And I used to always give him stuff about it, and he used to always be like, "Bro, you need to know.
Yeah, it's important. Good players do that."
So then, when all these, accidentally drawing 8 memes they started happening in all these tournaments, he was like, "Bro, you see, that's why you got to ask how many cards are in your hand." So as a joke, we got him these sleeves that say "cards in hand," and it's him with like the laser Mufasa eyes. So so Hector rocking those sleeves today, and hopefully they bring him some luck. Yesterday, not as great of a performance, which does happen, but Hector looking to improve his odds today, and he's definitely got his hands full. Round number 1 against the champ from yesterday.
And for those of you asking, it's a little bit confusing. So for those of you that joined us kind of later, what we did was we showed 2 rounds of the 1K, which is a more general population, more general public event. What we're doing now is we're jumping into round 1 of the 5K. The 5K, for those of you who don't know, is a high stakes event. And what that means is that the prizing is cut to a much smaller cut. Think of games like poker that do high stakes events. So we're jumping into that. That's like the premier event for today.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to make sure we give you some gameplay earlier on, but yes, we are officially starting round 1 of the 5K high stakes event.
Exactly, as Gabe mentioned, 2 different events going on. We have 2 different little groups of people playing, and we will bring you the 5K for the rest of the day. The 1K is still going on. It was just kind of an appetizer.
We'll announce the winner when that happens.
Yeah. Just a little bit of an appetizer we had earlier, but yeah, we are going to be on round 1 now of the 5K, and I don't know if there we go. He's already on top of it. I was going to say Hector hasn't won any games, but we already got rid of the little symbols. Jason's on it. How many people in the 5K? 30.
I don't know the number, but we will get graphics up. So what we do is we kind of collect the data. We'll get information out there to you as soon as we have it available.
I think we had 32 signups, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if everybody showed, because sometimes that doesn't happen. But yeah, these are group, like not a huge group. Very similar to like a set champs group, if you will, like a 30-man tournament.
The world's most powerful
except that you're playing for $5,000, right? So definitely. Ooh, and Hector pulling out the Super Goof here, which I know is a card that he personally really likes. A lot of people have tried to talk him out of playing this Super Goof.
Yeah,
but Hector doesn't want to hear it. Hector just trying to show how much value Super Goof can bring here.
Yep.
And he is pretty good in this matchup, to be honest. Something that rushes in, potentially being able to deal with these warded characters. Definitely an option. And we have Justin, doing the signature, running up the board here. Guy on 1, guy on 2, and then Alice on 3. Let's see if he's able to get ahead here and just start finishing up his curve.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're seeing a pretty standard line of play here from Hector. This is what you'd expect to see from a version of this Ruby Sapphire deck. Things are coming out when they're supposed to. Conversely, Justin is in the same path. Things are out the way they need to be at the time they need to be there. We got Alice on board. Alice, of course, is a very serious problem given that it's got ward. The Ruby element of Ruby Sapphire and that also, and I'm also talking about the coil. If you got them, if you're playing them, Hector is not on that. But if you were, that Alice is a problem because it has ward. Can't be selected. You can't touch it with any of the spells or the songs rather that come out of Ruby. And then it tells you, hey, not only can you not mess with me, I got friends, and my friends, they're good too. They're on my team. They're warded as well.
Yeah, and Hector cashing in here, attacking the Mickey, which will not be banished, but will still give a little bit of a benefit here, giving the lore to Hector. So Hector will claim his 2 lore off the Mickey here, and pass it back. Adding Talo to the board here, not only does it give him a new card, but provides him with a 3/3 body here who will be able to contest this board decently. Hector right now just trying to put enough threats in play where he just doesn't get overwhelmed by Justin's threats here. But another Alice will make it difficult here as she comes down with Ward, and Hector just double checking exactly what it says. Okay, and Alice will take a quest. So that'll go 2 lore up here, and he's deciding where he wants to put the lore or the ward. And he's taking a quick moment to think about it. He's going to give it to the Mickey. Mickey will get in there along with Mulan.
Yeah, I mean, if Hector's going to use that Mickey as a way to basically get free lore from the goof, what you know what Jack's saying, me too, bro. You know what, I like your idea. I'm gonna do the same thing
For sure.
I'm gonna give that Mickey extra lore.
Why
too.
not, right? If you can get away with it, sure. And Justin running a little low on cards here, but taking a 5 lore quest last turn is very nice. So he's up to 7 lore. Hector's still just trying to stabilize on the board here.
That Goofy is so good though. Look at that. It took him from 4 to 6. It bridged the gap. That's crazy. And this board state just completely shifted on
the
him.
Maui, very big deal there. And I mean, Super Goof showing his worth here. Hector, I'm sure he can have a conversation later saying, I told you so. Because Goofy's definitely put in the work here, especially with the popsicles being able to heal him up, just making him a consistent threat every turn against these 2 powered characters. Goofy's still sitting around since the turn that he was played. And we know Justin doesn't play a lot of ways to deal with characters, so most likely this Goofy will stick around for quite some time.
Yeah. I mean, this Alice, of course, now has to consider what it wants to do. You got Maui. Maui makes things really weird. Funny enough, so does Robin. Robin also makes things a little bit weird.
Yeah, but Maui checks them, right?
Maui does check them.
Maui is just such a strong card. We didn't see a lot of Mauis on stream yet. We saw half sharks.
We did,
but not a lot of OG Mauis on stream. But definitely still a powerful card.
Yeah,
and we were able to see its power there, just coming down and clearing that Alice, just taking it out of contention. We still have another Alice in play. There we go. We talked about this.
She's back.
We talked about this. Medusa, so well positioned.
Market watch, baby. Market watch on that Medusa.
The card might go from 50 cents to $1.
Market watch, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Medusa, very, very much slept on right now. And if Hector did his homework about yesterday, so many beasts and so many Robin Hoods in the room, you would have to wonder why people wouldn't be on more Medusas.
Yeah, admittedly, I'm playing a number of decks, some of which have Ruby in them, and I got to tell you, I went ahead and I last night, my before I went to bed, I said, let me not forget this. I grabbed my Madame Medusas. I went ahead and I took out some cards, and I said, Madame Medusa, you're back, baby. Let's go. Let's get back in this.
I mean, obviously, Tremaine is also really, really good, but
Tremaine's all right
right now in this format. I think Medusa is
in this economy.
Medusa is very, very strong. So Hector presenting some pretty scary threats here as he adds a Maui half shark to the board. And I know every time I see one of those in play, I am not happy about it. So I'm sure Justin feeling the pressure here as Hector starts to just kind of go aggressive in his own right, turning the cards sideways and saying, I'm going to try to close this game out. All right. So Justin says, all right.
Yeah. I think, the writing's more than on the wall. It's so on the wall, in fact, that we played Scoop City here.
Yeah, so Justin will go ahead and take the play on game 2.
Yep.
Great showing from Hector, really showing off the power of that Super Goof in this matchup. And shout out to Hector for calling it like he sees it. Hector identifying what cards he thinks are powerful, and no matter what the people tell him, he's going to do what he thinks is right.
Yep.
And clearly paying off for him here. So congrats to Hector on a great game 1, but it ain't over yet, as Justin gets to go ahead and go first here. And we know this deck loves to go first, right? This deck can curve out very well, quickly get into a lot of warded and resisted characters. Thankfully, the resist is not going to play a huge part here against Hector, since Hector isn't playing steel. It'll still make combat a little tricky, but
it does,
not as powerful as it would be against a steel deck. But the warded characters like Cogsworth and Alice are still going to present some interesting issues here.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Like when we think about the resist element, it 100% is about the steel. And I think Hector's that's one of the things Hector likes about his build. It likes about the color combination that he's in is while we're quote unquote living in a steel meta, that's good for that's their problem. That's all their problem. Hector's like, I don't care what you do, I'm going to be prepared. I don't care what you do, you're going to catch a Sisu. Whatever it is you want to do, you're gonna catch a all effect and not a targeted chosen effect.
Yeah, I don't think he's on Sisus anymore. I think a lot of people are
Yeah,
off the Sisus, which
yeah,
is
he's off season. He was and he wasn't. So there might be
such
some
a crazy
variations.
concept. I mean, thinking about a couple months ago when like everything was Sisu, 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 and now it's like people are just not playing Sisu. It's crazy how things change. But Cardboard Kingdom asking, what was Hector on yesterday? He was also on Red
Yeah,
Blue.
same thing.
Yeah,
Same
he's
thing.
been on Red Blue for quite some time here. Justin Truing to win 15K in 2 days. Maybe
Trying, I believe.
trying. Okay, well, maybe true. He's truly trying. He's truing. He's trying to win the 15K. Yeah, I mean he could do it. I mean, you
Yeah.
never know. This is a big one here, and
Yeah, and I want take notice of just like the hill to climb here for for Justin. Hector is one CCS very recently.
mhm,
I mean, has day two at DLCs, was nationally qualified.
mhm.
Hector's a one heck of a competitor.
Yeah, no pun intended. One hectare of a
One
competitor.
Hector of a competitor, in fact, even. And so yeah, so like imagine that the majority of the field is like this. I thinking about what's going to be on stream, we're going to have to fight to decide what we showcase every single round.
Mhm.
And this is a good example of that. This is round one.
Yeah, for sure,
You
for
know?
sure. And Jack's gonna get us started with a little Robin Hood action here as we pass it back over to Hector, and we do see a lot of treats here in Hector's hand. He's got lots to work with as he decides to just go ahead and ink down this Tipo and drawing himself a card off that popsicle and sending it back. Pretty basic, pretty
Yeah,
simple.
yeah. The beginning turns are always kind of like this. It's just this stabilization period. The most important things of note during the opening sequences, of course, is do we miss something? Did my opponent not get a drop that they needed to get?
Mhm.
If that happens, then you start to turn the fires on. But in a game that's got a very very generous alter or mulligan phase, as Lorcana does. Lorcana is a very generous mulligan for those of you that were for using that terminology. That allows you to see a little bit more consistency in these opening turns. Now that's not always the case.
Mm.
Unfortunately, cards are cards,
For sure.
and when you stack cards in certain orders that you don't get to choose,
Mm,
sometimes it's not in the way you want them to be.
for sure.
However, more often than not, you should see the pretty common opening lines.
Yeah. And Hector just thinking here what second card he wants to ink with his Tipo, and it will put him up to 3 ink, and he'll pass it back. So Hector does see his ramp on turn 2, which I'm sure he's very happy about, and that's going to put him at a good advantage. Potentially, Super Goof coming back next turn does check the Smee, so that's something that Justin's going to have to think about here because I'm sure he wants to cash in this Smee here and Quest, but it's not so simple. We know Super Goof's in the deck, and it's definitely going to be something Justin's going to be thinking about here.
Ooh, okay. So this we saw yesterday from Jack as well.
Mhm.
The Jim Hawkins. The effect on it is that you choose a character, and that character may not challenge going into the next turn. Not so powerful here. This is more for the effect of having a character on board. But think about what this could do to things like a half shark if it were to come down,
For sure.
or something just anything that might generate some kind of an effect for Hector. So knowing that this is in the deck, Hector's got to keep that in the back of his mind as well.
Right.
Just in case. You never know. Just in case.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I said Jim Hawkins. My apologies. I meant John Silver. Thank you for correcting me.
And John Silver being a captain, right, really helps a lot because Smee was not able to be checked by Super Goof if Hector decided to play it because he doesn't take that 1 ping of damage. So really cool heads up play by Justin just to be able to still get that quest in, even in the face of a potential danger. So
Yeah.
he was able to get that in, and they will go back on their quest together, the pirate life, as not literally a pirate's life, that's an actual card, but they are living like pirates.
Living like pirates.
They are pirates together as they cash in for 4 more lore and Justin up to 8 here.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the Ruby Sapphire deck, of course, as we've kind of seen through the course of many events, it bleeds. That's a term that we generally use in trading card games.
You generally use.
No, trading card games use this.
No,
phrase.
you use it.
I also
you use it.
I use it. Okay, I
You
use it. I use it.
I don't use it.
You don't use it?
No.
That's how generally
things
works.
bleeding make me feel weird.
That's weird. But generally, okay.
Characters in Disney don't bleed.
They don't. That's why I said TCGs.
Characters in Disney, they have pixie dust. They don't bleed.
There you go. Don't worry. I don't pay this man no mind. Don't worry, Triple. Thank you. So anyway, yes, in trading card games, it's a phrase known as bleeding. It's the idea that you have to kind of let your opponent clamor up some some of that advantage, start to get the whatever the life points are. So in this case, of course, we're talking about lore. So you let your opponent get lore in the beginning,
Mhm.
but ultimately the reason why is because you're about to just give the most insane tempo swings as you enter into like the mid to late game. And that's exactly what Ruby Sapphire is. It's a deck that allows this to happen because it knows it'll come back, it'll be prepared, it'll do what it needs to do to clear the board
Mhm.
and then restabilize the board with very, very dangerous threats, potentially putting Justin in a position, if Justin's forced to just spend his hand to deal with that, potentially putting Justin in a spot of like, well, let me top deck. And you do not want to enter into that game against a Ruby Sapphire deck, especially not piloted by somebody as powerful and as well versed in this matchup as Hector.
Yeah, Hector's trying to put the pieces together here as Justin does clock in for 4 more lore last turn. So he is making his way up the ladder here and did have a nice opportunistic dock last turn, which did give him a couple more cards. Very important question for you, Gabe. When you have no cards in hand and your opponent asks you, do you show your hands, your palms? Do
Yeah,
you do the jazz hands
yeah, you got to do jazz
you
fingers.
wiggle the fingers?
Yeah, jazz fingers
Okay,
for
I was
sure.
curious if okay.
And not just when you ask me cards in hand. If you played an Ursula, I'm jazz fingering.
You're wiggling?
Yeah, I'm giving you the jazz fingers.
Okay, even without asking, like
Yeah.
if I Diablo, any
Yeah,
of these
Diablo,
things,
jazz fingers.
if we're looking at hands,
Ursula, jazz fingers. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get jazz fingers.
Okay, interesting. I like that. I like that. I was just curious. Justin, when he played his doc, he did like a little like I've got nothing,
Like a flourish.
He did like a little magician's
Yeah.
like I got nothing in hand. So I was just curious. Something very important topic that
Yeah,
I feel like it's just not discussed enough in the community.
No, I agree. We need to figure this out together as a group to stop whatever it is and do whatever we need to do.
Exactly. So Justin up to 14 here. Hector kind of just trying to stabilize here. I mean, it's tough. We do have Maui and things like that, but I mean, ultimately, Justin's just going to keep questing. However, Justin only has one or two cards in hand, which isn't a whole lot. It holds in a whole lot. So
No.
if Hector's able to hit the brakes here, he might be able to squeeze out a stabilization on the board, but Justin's not going to make it easy. Justin's going to keep on questing, and
Yeah.
Hector just has to hope to be able to stop it.
Exactly. And I'm not seeing a be prepared in Hector's hand. I'm looking for ways to wipe this board. I'm not seeing it though. I do see it. I saw a shark. I saw a pirate's life, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But Hector's got to figure out a way to dig.
For sure.
Is what needs to happen here.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely, send,
we
if we wanted to send the Tipo in to the Milan, we could do that. We could send the Maui into the dock if we really wanted. I don't know what that third is. It Medusa?
That's Medusa. Yep, that's a Madame Medusa.
So yeah, we could do a lot of things here. But yeah, he chooses to run out the Maui Shark, which you see Justin give him a nice nod of approval, and we are going to start.
Yeah, I mean
the descent.
Listen, if I can't deal with your board yet, then I need to create a bit of a lag in your ability to get there. So fine, I can't wipe your board, not yet, Jack. Soon I will. Until then, though, let's give you some negatives.
No, yeah, I think that's a great play.
100%.
Instead of Hector just using his characters to trade in, using them to sing a little song and gain that 2 lore and lose the lore, and it puts Justin just further behind here as Justin's really trying to crank up to 20.
Yeah,
he does load up the board,
but here's the problem, bro.
We have Shark coming back.
Yeah, it's Shark Week, baby.
Yeah, that Shark really stifles anybody's attack here because you can always Shark, and Shark will get back that pirate's life, and it's just an endless abyss. And you see that Justin recognizes that, just passes it right back to Hector.
Yeah,
which is really unfortunate. Something he didn't want to do, but yeah, that's the predicament he's in.
Yeah, I mean, Hector is he's reaping the fruits of the labor that he set ahead, allowing Jack to get a little bit ahead, and now seeing that in the Shark.
So he's got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Justin just shy of lethal here. He's got 1 short. If for some reason Hector didn't deal with anything here.
Ooh, we got a double Shark on the way.
Yeah, that's what's worse than 1 shark. It's 2 sharks here.
Hector just questing.
He tried to quest with the Maui.
He's like, bro, yeah, Maui wants to go on an adventure with all of you.
Maui wanted a quest, but he couldn't. Oof, Chempo is good here, but
is tough. It though? Is it really the thing? Like, you want to put a character that turns sideways?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, it is good to stop stuff, but in the face of a shark, I guess not as good. And the shark just checks it, right? The shark is like, nice 7 defense and 4 attack, which is really unfortunate. I mean, just
There it
straight up, just
Yeah.
gets eaten by the shark.
And opting not to turn it sideways for its bodyguard effect tells you everything you need to know about where Justin is at.
He's like, I have lethal, so figure it out. And Hector may or may not be able to do so.
No, yeah, and I don't believe I saw the thing. It's no, we see a fish
hook.
We see the Maui
and another Maui. Yeah, he's not going to have a way here. I think he's just dead.
Yep,
yeah, he's just dead.
Scoop it up.
So as much, oh my god, in the face of double shark, and a bunch of other, pirate's life and all this shenanigans, Justin just keeping his cool and knowing that this is the only way out. You just got to build up a board and go.
Listen, if we're gonna ban a bunch of blue steel cards, let's ban Chimpo too. Let's just throw that in the batch. Let's just ban that too.
For sure.
Chimpo broken. Chimpo
OP, dude.
OP Chimpo.
Even when he's not defending, he's just he's the missing link at all times.
R&B, sorry, I love you. Let's ban some more blue steel cards.
Ban more blue steel. Just ban blue steel. You just can't play those colors
anymore. There you go. You can play it in other combinations. You just can't put those two combos together.
Exactly.
There you go.
I'm about it. I'm about that life. All right. So now Hector getting a pushback here from Justin, but we go to a game 3, and gonna be curious. As I mentioned in my interview yesterday with Justin, did touch on the topic that it can be a little tricky to navigate this Kiwi deck from the play. From the draw, rather, just being behind one turn. Plus, Hector's going to be ramping. It could be quite difficult, but Justin's showing that he's got the chops to maneuver and potentially take this home. So it's going to be a good one here as we go into game 3. Get started here. The melee link, I will try to see if I could find it for you. Sorry, it's a little hard from the booth, but maybe somebody can post it in the chat if possible. Yeah, and we have 2 melee links today. We have a 5K one, and then we have a 1K one. I should be on my X, but then my Twitter. I hate saying my X because it just feels weird. Like I'm talking about my ex. My wife might get mad if she hears me saying this. It's like, yeah, it's on my X. What do you mean it's on your X?
How'd you get it on your X?
What do you mean it's on your X? What do you mean it's on your X? I think we're trying to pull it up right now. Merlin. Nope, that's not it. That is not it. No, just type in Southside Gaming, dude.
I don't know how
you don't know how to spell Southside.
Yeah,
there you go. Oh my goodness.
But I don't think this. Oh, the Merlin 1K. There it is. 5 stakes.
There you go.
All right, so we do this.
Yeah.
Click buttons.
Copy
right
paste.
Click. We copy.
Man, you're not even a Control C guy, dude.
Oh, but wait, we have to be on the Twitch.
Oh, we can't paste it in here.
You can't paste it in here.
So,
all right, sorry, folks.
So go on Twitch. No,
dude, this is the worst comment. This is the worst dead air of all time.
No, we're good. They're starting the game. They're mulliganing. We're trying to help the people right now. We're gonna make it happen.
Okay, actually, no, I think we're good.
I have the link on my X, and I can go on
Stop
Twitter.
talking about your X, but you're gonna get in trouble.
Dude, I got it, dude. Here are the links.
You're in so much trouble.
Here we go, guys. I got you incoming right now in the chat. It's gonna come from my personal thing here. I got you. Don't even worry about it, Gabe. Don't you worry. Child.
No, you did not just do that.
We have got a plan for you.
Folks, I'm sorry. Please don't tune out.
Don't you worry now.
Folks, please.
Can you stop searching and try to show me up? I'm working real hard to do it.
Well, stop it.
And if you... No.
We're here, bro.
I don't appreciate what you're doing right now.
Oh no, and then...
And now you can hear me.
Okay, I'm sorry, folks. You're gonna have to figure it out.
I'm figuring it out. All right, you ready, guys?
You figure it out, bro.
You talk about the game. I'm gonna get the link.
Yeah. So anyway, we see Mulan hit the table. Mulan, of course, powerful for the ability to fix your hand a little bit. We do love that. And Graham Crackers talking about you deserving a Grammy. Congratulations on that.
That is a 5K right there. I just posted, and the 1K for those interested. Just the 1K.
We got the Gooner. The Gooner is down. Gooner down. We got Calgoon on the table. And we see Hector, of course, with a pretty standard start here. We've got the opening with a popsicle, turn 2 sail. This is what you'd expect from Ruby Sapphire that's looking to ramp as quickly as possible as Hector touches the sleeves that's got his face on it with the laser eyes.
All right. And sorry, I'm just looking up here. I was posting the links here. So, yeah, basic start here from Hector. Running out the popsicle, doing a little sail on 2, getting ramped up. Do we sail on 3 also? We sail. What do we do here? What happened here?
Yes, we've done 2 sails so far this game.
Oof.
So he did a turn 2 sail and a turn 3 sail.
So Hector's like at 100 ink.
Yeah, Hector's ready to drop a half shark on turn 4. Is literally where we're at.
That is not good news.
I mean, I'm sure Hector likes it, but Jack may not.
Justin, and you see be prepared in hand too. So I mean, he could just quickly just dispatch of the whole board if he really chooses, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But Justin's going to do his best to survive here. We see Doc in the hand of Justin. Actually, a couple Docs, I think. At least one, maybe two. I didn't see the other. But that's going to give him a little more gas once he needs to reload here. No problem, Drizzy. I got you. Sorry for the delay on that. Yeah, Stefan, who normally runs production, is in the 5K right now.
Yeah, funny enough.
So we have Jason helping us out. So things are just a little different. We're overbearing. I don't want to put too much pressure on Jason to handle chat and handle the stream and handle this,
right? And do graphics
and
it's a lot.
Make me lunch and do a bunch of other stuff. So
exactly.
Yeah, so maybe a little slower today.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's slower, but still good. And of course, Stefan deserves to get an opportunity to play out there. So we're excited to see him.
Yeah,
hopefully do well.
Hopefully he can. Hopefully he can. Rock it.
I feel like if Stefan wins, it's like we won because like we're part of the production.
It's like we win.
Yeah. So if Stefan wins, I want to cut.
He's carrying the torch.
Stefan, you got to give us a cut if you win. Period.
Yeah, because you win for us.
There you go.
We all win together. All right. So Hector, thinking about how he wants to spend all his ink here. And he definitely has options. We see Maui in the hand if he chooses to want to crash into this Calhoun. Just passes?
Listen, there's times where passing is not the wrong choice, right? There's times where it's not.
I'm sure there's a great reason. I just don't know what it is.
I can't tell you why. But there's times where it's good. As we see a Doc played without the want to trigger.
Yeah, he just getting that body in there, that 1-3.
Yeah. I think Justin saw how effective it was to just like kind of go wide, do a quest, and then put yourself in a range where you can just go wide and then turn sideways one time. Now, if there's any color combination that can do that effectively, it's absolutely a color combination that has a card like Alice in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we think about Sapphire Steel, you got Alice, you got a lot of characters that already have 2 lore on them. So yeah, absolutely. That's usually the right play here. However, it looks like Hector valued the be prepared.
Yeah, I mean he had double be prep in hand, and he has Hades, so his hand is a little clunky. Could be why he just chose to just pass last time. But I thought I saw another option for him, but maybe I was wrong.
Yeah,
could be wrong.
Now we see Tamatoa, and it looks like what Hector's doing is fixing the hand, trying to like get more stuff in there, try to give more options available. As we see, just kind of having to play the one character, play the popsicle, and then letting Justin go. Oh gosh, and boy, was he punished for that. That's a punish if I've ever seen it. So we punished Hector after the be prepared with a McDuck Manor. Hector dropped one character that's got 4 attack, not the worst thing in the world, and Jack goes bet. Okay, let me punish you one more time. Here's another one.
That's rough. That is super rough. And some people in chat mentioning, Hector deciding to ink the shark earlier instead of the regular Maui, the 5-drop Maui, might come to bite him here. I mean, having that shark in play right now would be presenting a lot more danger. But now we have 2 manners to think about, and that's going to be a quick clock if Hector's not able to put some power on the board and deal with these.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's just rough going. We do see a Hades, but Hades is no good if there's no characters.
Yeah. We have fish hook here. Fish hook, I believe, provides Challenger 3, I believe is what it does.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that'll open it up to a 7. But 7 is not 9.
No, it's not 9. It's not.
So we're going to find out here. Hector's just thinking it out, figuring out, okay, what's going to put me in the best spot to win this game? And we're going to start with how far I'll go. Just take a look at 2 more cards here. We do lose 4 ink for the turn, which is unfortunate, but potentially finding a better card. And Hector snap picked, I believe it was the Manor.
It was McDuck Manor. It was, 100%. I didn't see what the second card was. I didn't see what he snap picked in opposition to.
Yeah. So having shark with hook would clear the Manors. Yep, I agree.
It absolutely would. Yeah, it might have been a miscalculation on Hector's part, unfortunately.
Yeah, either of the Mauis with the hook would have killed the Manors, to be honest. But yeah, definitely, gonna have to ask Hector about that play there, and I'm sure he has a good response, but I'm not sure what it would be. And we're gonna go ahead and swing into the Manor for 4.
And there's the hook,
there's the hook. Okay, and it's not free because Tamatoa's name is not Maui.
Yep.
You like those sleeves?
Though they're wild, aren't they?
Yeah, those sleeves are pretty cool.
Imagine having a sleeve of yourself on it. We love it.
Yeah, those are really cool sleeves. So Alice joining the board with a Smee, potentially threatening 4 more lore the next turn. In addition to most likely another 2 lore from that manor if we're not able to clock it out. I mean, I would assume one manor is going to be biting the dust, but that other one will stay unless Hector has a way to rush in there and deal with it.
Yeah, and Hector, of course, taking a look to see what options are available, taking a look to see.
Yeah, he's got Hades, but I mean, Alice is
Yeah.
warded.
Correct.
We can Hades the Smee. It's definitely not a terrible idea, but yeah, it's definitely not going to be a super simple way to deal with all this
No,
stuff.
there's not. We're dropping the Hades. Yep, targeting the only character viable because of that ward, unfortunately.
Which is great. Puts a 3/6 body on the board,
Yep.
which is really helpful right now. We need power on the board to deal with these manors, as well as just removing a Smee, which is essentially removing 3 lore off the board, right? Because that Alice was most likely going to clock in an extra lore on the Smee. So very good play, but we got double dock.
Double dock.
And we're going to get an Alice and a Fire the Cannons.
Oh, we love that.
Cannons is not going to be able to deal with Hades or Tamatoa here.
Yeah, I think it's a cool card to include. I think it's good for some situations where
it was great yesterday.
Great. Yeah, exactly. Yesterday was fantastic.
Yeah, it picked off some damage on some characters that were left over. It took out some Diablos throughout the day, I'm sure. It took out a lot of things that are 2 powered. So Fire the Cannon's great card, but just in this predicament, Hector's just playing big booty dudes, and it's going to be really hard for Justin to try to get over that. But he is at 17 lore. And Hector has to find a way to pretty much deal with everything here. But he will, as he sings the "Be Prepared," I believe, is what he did there.
Yep, that's
we had a little bit of a glitch there, but yeah, I believe he quested and then sang "Be Prepared," or I don't know if he quested or sang.
Yeah, it was in fact "Be Prepared." That's correct.
It was "Be Prepared," but I don't know if he quested before. I don't see his lore total up, but yeah, 17 for Justin, and he still has that Alice in play.
Yeah, and those of you taking notice, he's got 2 Be Prepareds and a Pirate's Life in hand.
Yeah, Pirate's Life is good, but yeah, that's gonna have to do it for now. That will pull him a little further away, give Hector just a little more time. It was double ink. Gotcha. 3. Okay, double ink last turn. Tipo and Manor. Okay, gotcha. All right, I was just curious. I thought I had seen him quest, but the stream was a little fuzzy for a moment. So, that is such a good play there. So Pluto will protect the Alice here with the ward, and we'll add another board. So now Hector has to figure out how he's going to attack into this Pluto and the Alice, since both of them are warded. But he can play Be Prepared, as we know he does have that. So that's really going to save him here from this impending doom.
Yeah, I mean, and we're doing a vision of the quest. So how doomed is Hector? Hector's about to find out.
Yeah, he sees the Maui Shark. It's at the front of the hand there. It's probably the number one.
There's 2 Maui Sharks in that group of 5.
He's probably definitely looking at the Sharks. You definitely don't want to send 2 Sharks to the bottom of your deck, right? You're gonna.
That's bad. That feels bad.
Yeah, so you're most likely going to just pick up a Shark here, although Hector is considering all his options.
Yeah. Let's see. And Hector, Hector's thinking about that double Shark. Like, looking at those 2 Sharks is not fantastic. So he's got to decide, like, do I need to grab the Shark? Wait, was that the Shark he grabbed? I missed it. I didn't see what he actually grabbed.
Pretty sure. Sorry,
probably a Shark.
Stream, the latency's acting up a little bit, but I think he did grab a Shark. I would have to imagine. Oh, maybe
no.
not.
I think it was a Tala.
Tala.
I think he grabbed Tala.
Interesting. So maybe he's looking for something very specific.
And he grabbed what he drew off the top of the deck for his turn. It looked like it was a Develop Your Brain. So more digging. That's the name of the game here for Ruby Sapphire. Without Hiram to let you draw an insane number of cards, what you do instead is you have to be pretty darn good at digging, and not be diggy hole. Can you believe it?
I'm just curious what Hector's more familiar with the list than I am, but curious what he's digging for. I'm clearly looking for something specific, and there is
a McDuck Manor,
and a Develop.
And a Develop. Choosing to keep the Develop Your Brain.
Develop again.
He's just digging. He's trying to get to the bottom.
Brawl and Tamatoa. We do find the Tamatoa here.
There you go. Tamatoa. He's looking for those items to see the value. Maybe pop that to decide whether he needs to pop the popsicle or not.
Okay, Hector. Just trying to solve this puzzle here, and Justin just waiting to get his turn back.
Yeah, absolutely. And yep, opting to pop the popsicle, plays the Tamatoa, which then allows him to grab the popsicle. Okay. And there's not a second item in the deck, which is unfortunate. that reduces its value in terms of getting more cards in hand.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, you got Jack at 17, you got Hector at 2. We see,
Oof.
we see another just digging. Hector is looking for something, not finding it.
Look at
As you
Hector.
can
He's
see, the
not
look on
happy about
Hector's
it.
face, just not finding what he needs.
Looking at
And that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
digging through. I mean, we had 5, 10, 12, 14 cards plus your draw for turn. So 15 cards. I mean, just not finding what you're looking for.
And
Sometimes
just
sometimes that happens. You know, it's very unfortunate and seems unlikely, but you know, sometimes it is that way. And I'm, like I
correct.
said, I'm curious to know what card he's looking for in particular because he does seem to be looking for something super specific.
Yeah, like he purposely did not grab the shark because he grabbed something to keep looking. He did draw a popsicle, which will give him one more card to look at. He's going to find it. And was that a Medusa?
It is a Medusa.
That what he was looking for? Was he looking for a Medusa?
I mean, Medusa's good, but
yeah, it's not bad. It's good in this matchup for sure.
We take out the Robin Hood and we can trade in the or not trade in rather, but attack in with the Tamatoa into the John, unless the John made him can't challenge. No, because he wouldn't have because he couldn't quest if he did that. Okay, yeah. So the John was from the turn before, so yeah, Tamatoa would be able to attack into it.
Yep.
We will Tala and look at another 2 cards.
And the shark. We found a shark.
We found another shark, which
Do we keep it?
Not terrible considering we sent 2 to the bottom. But is that what Hector's looking for?
Yeah, that's a good question. He sent 2 away. So are we? Do we need it now at this point? I mean, you get in the choice. Is he opting to keep the brawl? That's no. He's debating.
Hector's really got to think this through because Justin is at 18, and any misplay here could potentially pass the game over to Justin. You know, he's going to be playing tight, and if he does draw like Cogsworth or something, it could be problematic considering that it has Ward. So yeah, I mean, you really got to think about this here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, this is a tough decision. There are going to be plenty of targets to use that brawl on, but this will now be the 3rd shark that gets sent away. And yep. Wait. We grabbed. He sent that with he sent the 3rd shark away.
Yeah, he just needs the brawl right now to be able to deal with any character, even if it's readied. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm really curious what he's looking for.
All right. And I mean, he's still alive, right? So did something right here as we pass it back over to Justin, who draws 2 removals. Ooh, that feels bad.
That's not good. That's
passing a turn. Just draw pass to Hector.
That is so tough.
Is a real big deal. That was a big turn here for Justin to try to find something.
Now we can start playing pirates. Now we can start dragging Jack behind again.
Now, yeah, we're gonna resolve this shark. We can do all this stuff now.
So we're doing a vision.
Hades, great choice probably to just potentially deal with anything he plays that's not warded. So maybe he's thinking about that, but potentially something else as well.
Yeah, and so you've got choices in this hand, or in these 5 cards rather, for the vision. This is going to be quite the choice. It looks like I missed what that was.
It's crazy that between the last 2 turns we've looked at like 20 plus cards in Hector's deck.
Yeah.
So this deck is just so.
It looks like I think it was a Be Prepared. He grabbed the Be Prep.
Yeah.
Yep, he grabbed the Be Prep. And
Pirate's Life.
That was Pirate. Yep, that was a snap Pirate's Life.
Yeah, just pulling Justin away from the finish line here as Justin was so close. But these Pirates' Lives chained together are really going to start. Ooh, that's a good one. But Hector comes prepared.
Yes, he does. You're not kidding. This feel. I'm sure Jack is probably thinking like, well, if I can just hold it, if I can hold the fort, I got this.
We have that Hades in hand, which is just going to absolutely put a damper in Justin's finish here. So here comes most likely.
Look at Hector catching up. We sent the Hades out. We're inking the card. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, plus a Pirate's Life is game-winning moment here.
Yeah.
Hector may have just turned this around.
He did.
All this poo-pooing.
Over.
Yep. All this poo-pooing that we did about him letting the sharks go away.
No, I wasn't poo-pooing.
Not you.
If anybody knows anything about Red Blue, it's Hector plays the deck inside out.
100%.
So I wasn't questioning.
No, I wasn't saying you. I was
no. But I'm just